My name is Sigurður Sigurðsson. Sometimes it's a tongue twister for myself, even though I speak Icelandic. So it can be quite difficult for foreigners or non-Icelandic speakers, and even Icelandic speakers, to pronounce it. So thank you very much. My lecture is called The Children Are Always on Their Phone. The reason why I called it that is because in my travels around Iceland, talking to teachers, parents, and children, this is the sentence I hear the most. The children are always on their phone. What can we do? Before I answer that question, a little bit about myself. Like I said, my name is Sigurður Sigurðsson, and I work as a specialist in media usage of children and teenagers at the Safer Internet Center in Iceland. The Safer Internet Center is also run by a parental organization. It gives us a great opportunity to talk to parents all over the country. But like I said, the children are always on their phone is the typical question and statement said by teachers and parents. But when just recently I started to ask them, have you tried to rearrange the sentence and ask, why are the children always on their phone? Why are the children always on their phone? And the teenagers in the crowd, when I said it for the first time, were like, yeah, you never ask us. Why are we always on the phone? And the answer the parents get and the teachers get are simply astonishing and make change this possible in attitude, and it helps children quite a lot. So if you're always asking or saying these things, the children are always on their phone and recess at home. Ask yourself, why are the children always on the phone? And don't forget to talk to the children themselves. Even though they pretend sometimes to be, Mom, you shouldn't ask me this. But we need to keep this dialogue open with the children, because the world has changed very fast the last few years. When I started work with children 12 years ago, the only thing we had to worry about if they got a Facebook account or not. Today, it's a lot more challenging, and like I heard here today, parents often say, the children know more about this than me, much more. So I can't keep up with them. But according to our research and just talking to children, they want guidance on online-offline balance. When I talk to them and they get quite emotional about this, they demand it. They need our help. So if we have the attitude of saying, like the children know better, they may know better on the technology side, but we need to guide them on how to behave online and set frame and limits, like was said here before. Have any of you heard of about the Icelandic prevention model regarding alcohol usage? Raise hand if you do. Two, great. So I will go in a little bit in 1998, we were the world or European champions in teenage alcohol drinking. And today, we are in the bottom half, or like the world champion of least online drinking. And this didn't happen by accident, like some media have said about this model. This was done, many people asked, how did the Icelandic manage to do this? And it might surprise you, it's quite a common sense. The parents were involved. Researchers that were presented that showed the impact of parents. What can parents do to reduce alcohol usage of the children? Like, for example, the parent walk, where parent would just walk around the neighborhood and be there for their kids. Parents were informed how they can prevent youth drinking, and of course, why they should do it. Parents were empowered. They were taught to talk with the children. which we need a little bit today. How parents can spend time with their children and informed that togetherness with their kids severely helps bring it down to youth drinking. And parents got framework on how to stop youth drinking. And on the way, we showed the parents that what they were doing was doing something magical. Like, we didn't stop in 2003. People were giving data every year and in their about their community. But how can we use this experience to help us with teaching online balance? In our opinion, it's basically the same. Show researchers that show impact of parents, and we have a lot of them, but we have a little bit of issue to tell parents about them. Parents need to be informed on how they can help their children. Parents need to be empowered. We need to tell people that they are a key figure in helping their children reach online balance. We need to, and we do it in Iceland today, we need to teach parents how to talk to the children about their online world. Because for some parents, this is something unknown, or many parents. How parents can spend their time with their children online, share their life online. And parents need a framework to help the children in the online world. And parents, there should be need to be shown data they have positive effect. So basically, taking this prevention model and take it over to the online world. And what we hear a lot, can't we just ban the phones? That's a typical statement from parents and teachers. But in our experience, we can't help children learn balance with the bans. That I haven't, at least yet, seen non-research that supports the fact that banning phones in schools, at home, helps us in any way. But children need a framework, a boundary on how to behave. And that's the biggest compliment of children today, in Iceland at least, when I talk to them, that they're lacking frame. And the funny thing is, because I'm also the head of or the coordinator of the Icelandic Safer Internet Youth Panel, I asked them, what do you feel if you had no frame and could do anything you wanted online? And one girl said, if I had no frame or no boundaries, I would feel like my parents didn't love me. So the children are asking for a simple, clear frame. And simple is maybe the key word, because I was visiting a school a few years ago which has strict rules on where and how they should use the phone in the school. And it was like reading, the user agreement of an app. There were subsections, there were sections, and they didn't know, can I use the phone I can't use the phone here, but I can use it right here. So we have to have a simple, clear frame. Children need to be part of the discussions about the rules. And I will give you an example how it can work. And us grown-ups need to be a good role model. A lot of children complain that they are trying to follow some rules online, but the parents are breaking them constantly. For example, internet commenters. Children see if you comment something online, something negatively, and on the other hand, the parent is telling them to behave positively online. So we need to be a good role model. And there are no magical solutions. We will solve this overnight. I'm going to play you a short video, which is a message from our youth panel. Unfortunately, it's in Icelandic, but there is a English text, and it's just 1 minute, so hopefully it would give you a clear example on the message the youth is sending their parents.
Netið frábært ef við notum það rétt og á ábyrgan hátt. Hlustið á börn þegar þau segja frá ykkur sem þau lentu í á netinu. Þið berið ábyrgð að börnin ykkar fylgja aldurstakmörkunum, hvort sem það á samfélagsmiðlum, í tölvuleikjum eða á streymisveitum.
Það þarf að kenna á stillingar og forritum til að tryggja öryggi barna.
Grundvöllur þess að eiga í samskiptum á netinu að kunna félagsleg samskipti og það hlutverk ykkar að kenna börnunum það.
Kennið börnum að fylgja reglum á netinu, hlusta og bera virðingu fyrir öðrum.
Börn bera aldrei ábyrgð á því að fullorðin manneskja áreiti þau.
Ræðið við börnin ykkar hvað þau voru að gera á netinu, rétt eins og þau ræðið skóladaginn.
Börn eiga ekki upplifa pressu til að fara á samfélagsmiðla ef þau eru ekki tilbúin til þess.
Mikið af áróðri á samfélagsmiðlum sem getur leitt til þess að börn fái ekki að mynda sína eigin skoðun.
Börn eiga aldrei að finnast skulda einhverjum, til dæmis gera eitthvað sem þau vilja ekki, eins og að senda myndir eða deila persónulegum upplýsingum.
Áður en börn fara á samfélagsmiðla mikilvægt að kenna þeim að standa með sjálfu sér.
Þið þurfið líka að haga ykkur á netinu því þið eru fyrirmyndir okkar.
This is a message from our youth. They need the help. They are quite fed up with being blamed about how they are behaving online, of course, because the media is always telling them that they are doing something wrong. The blame is always never put on us grown-ups. So this message was to show them that they are demanding some action from us grown-ups. So what have we been doing in Safer Internet Sector in Iceland lately? This is the two projects we have been running for the last months. On the left, we have a project we did in cooperation with a school where we met with teenagers, talked to them. They made their own presentation. They had influence on what they were going to teach younger kids in their school. So they were taught to be a positive role model online and are teaching them how the younger children, the 12-year-olds, how to behave and how to get help if they are in a difficult situation. Like, according to our research, majority of Icelandic children don't know where to reach out if they are feeling threatened or are unsure about something online. And the picture on the left, or right, sorry, is a meeting where the teachers, where the parents and the kids met to figure out how to have positive social media and technology use in the school. And when the kids got what they say, it was so important because they were thinking about things us grown-up hadn't even thought about. Like, for example, the question, why are we always in our phone? Because the teenager, for example, didn't have any outside area they can play. Maybe if we have something to do in the school except for sitting around, and then it's very easy to pick up the phone and just hang around in that. So the agreement was made between the school parents and the kids to do this positively and open up for have more things to do for the children. Basically, we are starting to focusing more on the parents, to empower parents. Like we did with the alcohol usage, we are now focusing to do it with the parents today. That's why we set up the online agreement between parents on how to raise children in the online world. It was based on this one, which is the parent agreement, and it was one of the key parts in the prevention model that parents agreed upon how to raise their kids. For example, do not host a parentless party at your home, for example. So we decided, and it was demanded by the parents, to set up an online agreement. The reason we decided to have this empty, because we don't want the parents to fight about wording of the agreement, but here parents work together and put boundaries from the children. Because what parent agreement is very powerful, example, the age restrictions. In one school, they decided to appoint 3 persons when something like a new video game comes out. They will research this video game and tell every parent, no, this is not suitable for our children, or yes, this is suitable for our children. So parents working together to solve these problems. So the friends can say, Mom, you don't allow me to go on Snapchat, but all of my friends are on Snapchat. With this agreement, they just said, when they have the right age, whether it's 13, 14, or 15, whether the parents agree, it's just the rules now. And it's very positive to have the children part of this discussion. So in conclusion, we need to be active in discussion with our children about everything online. Unfortunately, our research shows in Iceland that when they are 13 years old, they are a little bit set free online. Parents don't feel like they need to help them anymore online. That's something we need to change. How we need to empower parents, give them the tools to help them raise up the children in the online world. We need to empower parents. No parents should be able to say, I know nothing about this, I can't do this. If somebody says that, we need to give them the tools and help them organize and talk to the children. It's our duty as grown-ups to help the children in the online world, both the school, the community, the parents, and the children. And the final point, because I heard school says that it should be the job of the parents to do this. I heard parents say the school needs to teach about this. It's all of our jobs. There's nothing we can do on one place. The school needs to help us with this. We, the parents, need to help us, and the children are more than willing, in my experience, to take part of this. So listen to the children, and yeah, that's my final message. Listen to the children. Thank you.
Thank you very much for sharing your experience. I think that it's a good portion of knowledge for us. Have you, może jakieś pytania? Any questions? Mogą Państwo zadawać pytania w języku polskim.
You can ask questions in Polish. We will translate the questions.
Do you have the English version of this parent agreement? Maybe because it was in your language, but I would be interested in English one.
Sorry, I didn't hear it.
Do you have the English version of this parents agreement you showed on the slide?
Not the parents agreement, yes, but not the online agreement yet. But I can send you the English version if I can get your email. The English version will be ready hopefully soon. We are still in the testing process in Icelandic, but of course we need to do it in English because there's a lot of non-Icelandic speaking parents in Iceland.
Maybe I will have one more question, because I think it's your work with parents very important, and on this conference yesterday and today, many times we spoke about how important group it is, but on the other hand, often underrated or not addressed. And how do you deal with those parents who are not interested in collaboration or in participation in such projects and so on?
It's a very good question. My experience, as we first of all need to focus on the most interested parents, because we need to grow the group in, like, for example, classroom. And in my experience, like, we have the super parents, we have the just normal parents, and then completely not interested. What we need to do is upheave the status of the super parents and bring them all together. If we can get 50% on the first meeting, 50% of parents on the first meeting where this online agreement is discussed, next time maybe 60%, next time maybe 70%. It's a constant work. It's so if we can get majority, it gives a social pressure to the other who weren't interested at first, and then we'll come later when they see, oh, everybody's doing it, I need to go too. But we, of course, can't bring everybody. But if we can get the majority, we can help. And even those who are, because when we are doing this, we are not only helping our child, we are also helping the other children who are in the group with our children, even though their parents are not willing to be part of this.
Thank you very much. There's no questions once again.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.